What's up, boxing fans? This is TBE Boxing, back at you again. Today's topic, Wilder breaks silence after rematch clause expires. Calls Fury a cheat and a coward. Anthony Joshua responds. Let's chop it up and see what it's all about.
Got the money for minutes, pretty bitch, gotta show me titties. This is the life that I chose, on the block with the pole, This is the life that I chose, on the block with the pole, Thug lucky for riches, Thug lucky for riches, Pretty bitch, show me titties, And I got the glaze, run up on me, I'ma make you get it. I'ma make you get it.
Okay, boxing fans, we have a lot to chop up today. As you saw in the title, Deontay Wilder has broken his silence, and he has basically co-signed all of the various conspiracy theories that's been out there about the fact that Tyson Fury has cheated him, in the second fight. Now, as you know, there's been a lot of accusations, that's been floating around on the internet, basically mostly by the LDBC, well, not mostly, all by the LDBC community, claiming that Tyson Fury, had something to do with the fact that Deontay Wilder was poisoned. There was a glove conspiracy, with Glove Gate, Poison Gate, Breland Gate, and Watergate. There's something in his water. Breland, was in some conspiracy to help Tyson Fury win the fight by throwing in the towel, basically, accusing Breland of being disloyal and possibly getting paid to throw the fight. I mean, a host of various conspiracy theories out there. And so basically what Deontay Wilder has done so at this point is to come out and confirm all of them. Okay, this is what's going on. So I mean, at the end of the day, there's a lot to chop up here, and so we're gonna have to see. I mean, now that Deontay has come out and made these accusations, does he actually have any proof to back up any of what he's saying? I mean, from what I'm seeing in the video that he played, he didn't really show us any new proof. It's just basically the same video that's been floating around about the Glove Gate and the like. He didn't show us any new evidence. I mean, he says he has proof that Tyson Fury cheated, and so I'm assuming that based on that, he's going to be taking this case to court, because that's would be the logical conclusion based on what he's saying. He's going to have to take Tyson Fury to court to show that Tyson Fury cheated. And also, in terms of the rematch, now it would seem that the rematch clause has expired, and that basically what Deontay Wilder did was wait until after the fight, until the rematch clause had expired, and then came out with all of these various conspiracy theories. I mean, now the question for me would be, why would he do that? Why would you wait until after the rematch clause expired, when you have no way to enforce the rematch, to say you want to fight? Now you're saying that you want to fight, that Tyson Fury should honor the contract and he should fight. But the clause expired, so what is there to honor? I'm not sure how that actually works. I mean, maybe there's, something I'm missing. Okay, so maybe, anybody in the chat or whatever, they can tell me, let me know what I'm missing with this situation. Because if you actually wanted the fight to go forward, why would you wait until after the rematch clause has expired to come out and say you want the fight? Wouldn't it be better to come out before the rematch clause expire and say you want the fight, where you can enforce the fight, where you can actually enforce the rematch clause? But now basically what we have is that, if the fight is supposed to happen, then it's going to be up to Tyson Fury, it's going to be up to the so-called good graces of Tyson Fury if he decides whether, basically it's left up to Tyson Fury to decide what he want to do. Okay, before, if he had, if Deontay had came out before the expiration of the rematch clause, he would have been able to enforce it. He wouldn't have to depend on the good graces of Tyson Fury. So I'm not really understanding how that actually works, and so I have a lot of questions about that. But that be that as it may, he has finally came out, and from what we are seeing, he's basically endorsing all of the conspiracy theories out there. He basically repeated every single one of them. Okay, from the food too heavy, his water being poisoned, so-called poison. I'm paraphrasing. Mark Breland being disloyal by throwing in the towel. Probably he's claiming that there's some kind of conspiracy with Mark Breland being involved to throw the fight. To something being in his water. So I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, and there's a lot of questions. At the end of the day, from what I'm aware of, these fights are tested before and after the fight. So if there was something in his water, there would be, after the fight, they were supposed to be tested. So that would prove, or not prove whether or not there was something in his water. So we'd have to see what the results of those tests were to say that there was something in his water. I mean, so I mean, and if you thought that something was in your water, I mean, that somebody put something in your water, I would definitely want to test immediately after the fight to confirm that. Okay, I mean, I would have taken the test and made sure that, and I would have published it a long time before this. Why would you wait until a year later to make that type of accusation when that could have been easily proven, immediately after the fight if you felt that way? So I mean, there's a lot of questions out there, man. I mean, this whole thing is a mess. I'm not sure where this is gonna go, but at the end of the day, it looks like Deontay Wilder, is making an attempt to show that he actually wants this fight. But as I said, it's coming after it's almost like days after the rematch clause expired that he came out with these accusations. I mean, confirm. The accusations have been out there for a while. He's been basically confirming them now, like a few days after the rematch clause has expired. That's according to from what I know. Okay, I could be wrong, but I don't think so. So I mean that the timing is of these of Deontay Wilder coming out is pretty suspect at this point. So it is what it is, and also he's saying that Tyson Fury is a coward. Okay, not just a cheat, but a coward as well. So I guess he's saying that because Tyson Fury has said that he wants to move on when he hadn't heard from Deontay Wilder in the past year. So I mean, now we're gonna see. I mean, what's gonna happen. I mean, what as far as I'm known, I mean, I heard that Tyson Fury is supposed to fight some guy named Kabayel, but I don't know if that's been finalized as yet. It doesn't seem like it. So by all accounts, I mean, if they were both to agree, this fight could actually happen. Okay, the fight could actually happen if Tyson Fury says, yeah, let's fight. I mean, okay, so I mean, that's pretty interesting. I mean, I would definitely want to see the fight if they decide to go forward with that, But again, I don't know. I mean, if I was Tyson Fury and this guy comes out and accuse me of all these different crimes and ethical, wrongdoing, I mean, I don't know if I want to fight him, if I would give him the satisfaction, but I don't know. I mean, I saw a video with Tyson Fury, and he said basically, that it looked like he's saying that Deontay can get it, and that he's going to smash Deontay, when they get back in the ring next time. So it doesn't seem like Tyson Fury is ruling out the fight, but the question is, when is the fight going to be? Is it going to be next? Or is Tyson Fury going to fight someone else next and then fight Deontay Wilder? So there's a lot of questions there. So we don't really know at this point. Okay, but I guess further clarification should be coming soon enough. Okay. Now, as a side note to this whole situation, Anthony Joshua came out and said that the fact that Deontay Wilder has admitted, and because Deontay Wilder, in in one of his rants at Tyson Fury, on Instagram, not Instagram, on Twitter, he put something out on Twitter that said that uh, and I'm gonna paraphrase here. He says, when you was in your lowest moment, I gave you a chance. We discussed that before in some of my other videos where I basically described that whole situation about him giving Tyson Fury a chance as basically a case of cherry picking gone wrong. But I mean, I mean, he has it's his prerogative to make his own interpretation of that. But so basically, he also said that uh, Anthony Joshua had offered him, and Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn Matchroom Boxing had offered him more money to fight them, but he, being a man of his word, he chose to fight Fury. And from all what I've heard about that whole situation, it was supposed to be like $120 million offer that was made, and supposedly Deontay Wilder refused it because he's saying that there was a lot of questions about that, but basically at the end of the day, what actually came out about that whole supposed fight that was supposed to happen between Joshua and Wilder was that Wilder accused Wilder accused AJ Anthony Joshua of ducking him, basically saying that they didn't really want to fight. They were making fake offers, this, that, and the other. So now he's saying that no, the offer wasn't fake. They actually made him a better offer than what he was going to get to fight Fury, but he fought Fury anyway because he wanted to keep his word. So I mean, that's another strange situation. So now Anthony Joshua is coming out, and also Eddie Hearn is coming out and saying, hey, so now I thought you said we were ducking you, and Anthony Joshua is saying, in his usual low key way, he's saying that Deontay Wilder, basically dragged his name through the mud, okay, in that period, and he had to basically accept the fact that Deontay Wilder was doing that, and there's not much he could have done at the time. But now he's speaking out that now that Deontay Wilder has admitted that he actually got a real offer from Matchroom and from Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn. So I mean, so all these things are getting revealed, at this point, and it's not really making Wilder look very good at this point. At the end of the day, and with all the stuff that's going on, Wilder really needs to get like a publicist or somebody. He needs to get a publicist. Okay, somebody that can, come out there and speak for him and clean all this mess that he's making up, because, he just needs to, I think at the end of the day, it probably would have been better if he just kept silent. Even though we all want him to come out and speak, but he's not really doing himself, he's basically doing himself a big disservice, because he's not really making a lot of sense, and he's making a lot of mistakes, so you need someone to really, show him how to really come out in the media, and you need a publicist or somebody, public relations specialist, because he's basically making a big mess at this point. So at the end of the day, now the question is, what's going to happen with this fight? Is this fight going to happen? Is it not going to happen? What's really going down with this? Is Wilder going to court? Is he going to try to enforce the rematch clause that has already expired? Can he do it? Can that be done? Or is it, just too late? Too little too late? Is he going to take Tyson Fury to court about the cheating and about the attempted murder, or whatever, if you want to call it that? Because basically that's what he's accusing Tyson Fury of doing. He says he has proof. So is he going to show the proof? We have to chop up here, and basically it's a lot of stuff going on here, and a lot of questions and very few answers. Okay. Now, I did see this video, as I said, about Tyson Fury coming out and basically calling Deontay Wilder a dasa, which I think in British nomenclature, that's probably like a clown. Okay, he's saying that basically Wilder is a clown, and that if he wants it, he can get it. So he's not actually ruling out the fight. Okay, this is what I'm hearing. I mean, it seems that Tyson Fury is not actually ruling out the fight, but the question is, when is the fight going to happen? If it's going to happen, okay. If he's not ruling it out, when will it happen? Is it going to happen next, or is Tyson Fury going to continue on with his fight against his next opponent that was named Kabayele, something to that effect? So we don't know that yet. So we're waiting for more news on this whole situation, and it's definitely getting interesting at this point. Okay, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's gonna be in the next episode. Okay, because I mean, does Deontay Wilder really want this fight? I mean, I don't know. I mean, did Tyson Fury cheat? I don't know. I mean, we don't know really. And is this going to end up in court? We don't know that either. Now, the Deontay Wilder went in a pretty long rant about this whole thing. I mean, almost an hour or something. I mean, he was talking. I mean, he went over, but he basically went over a lot of the same stuff. Nothing really much new. Saying that, he'd rather died in there than have the fight being stopped. And, that even with all the cheating that Tyson Fury did, he couldn't keep a warrior down, couldn't keep the king down. Yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, I just want to know if this fight is going to happen. I want to know if he's going to make a court case out of it. It doesn't seem like it, because if he was going to take this thing to court, and I'm talking about a legal court as opposed to the court of public opinion, which is what he's doing now, putting this in the court of public opinion, because he hasn't filed a legal case as far as I'm aware of. So he's now in the court of public opinion, and that's where he's making his accusation. And so I don't really think there's going to be any legal ramifications, because if there were going to be, it would have happened by now. I mean, the longer you wait, is the colder the case going to be. So it would seem that if you really want to make a court case about it, you'd have done it long before this. So I think we can basically rule out that he's going to actually file in the court case on this matter. And in terms of the expiration of the contract, I've heard other people talk about he's going to take Tyson Fury to court, about the rematch clause. I mean, I don't hear him talking about that much anymore, but because it's pretty well, I think, universally understood that the rematch clause has actually expired. And that, basically what happened is that Deontay came out mere days or maybe hours after the rematch clause expired to make his accusations, which would seem very strange. I mean, why would you wait until the rematch clause expired to make all these accusations and come out and say you want to fight? I mean, I got to keep asking that question, because, I mean, it's a pertinent question, and it just boggles the mind that he would do something like that. But be that as it may, we're gonna, see in the next couple of days whether or not there's anything gonna come from all of this. Okay, whether or not Fury is gonna actually fight Wilder. I mean, at this point, it doesn't really seem that he has to, because, like I said, it seemed that the rematch has expired, and people are basically universally condemning Wilder for his accusation at this point. He doesn't really seem to have much friends in the boxing community besides his LDBC guys, fanboys who follow him. But more or less everyone else is basically saying that Deontay Wilder is a fraud. Now, that he's basically pushing a fraudulent narrative, and that he should have came out and said all this, much earlier. Okay, so he's basically being condemned throughout the boxing community. Not, I mean, I've even seen MMA people interviewing about this whole Deontay Wilder fiasco. So at the end of the day, it's not really looking too good for Wilder. Okay. Now, I mean, I would think that, you know, there's still a lot of interest in this fight happening. Okay. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing the fight myself. And so if Tyson Fury was to actually decide to fight Deontay Wilder next, I would be glad to see the fight. I would love that. I mean, you know, but at the end of the day, it doesn't seem like he has to respond to Deontay Wilder. I mean, you know, the rematch clause is expired. He doesn't have to really revisit that if he doesn't want to. I mean, legally, from what I'm seeing, you know, as far as I know, I could be wrong, like I said, but you know. So I mean, at the end of the day, you know, it's up to Deontay, it's up to Tyson Fury to decide whether or not he's gonna, you know, honor the rematch. And I'm just not clear on why Deontay Wilder would wait for the rematch clause to expire and then put all that power or the onus on Fury to decide whether or not the fight should happen or not. Okay, so I mean, it's a strange turn of events as far as I'm concerned, and I'm not sure really what to make of it. From what I'm hearing from Eddie Hearn, he's saying that, you know, Deontay Wilder is not going to have a chance at the title until maybe 2022, because Fury is going to fight AJ 2 fights in 2021, and so that'll have to push any fight back, you know, that with either Fury or AJ for Deontay Wilder to 2022 if he gets a shot at the title. Now, you know, I've said in my previous videos that I think that it'd be probably better for Deontay Wilder to just go back to the drawing board, work on his craft, and then come back in 2022 for a fight, you know. And it looks like that's going to be the situation, you know, whether he wants, whether he likes it or not, unless Fury decides to fight him next, which theoretically could actually happen, okay, because there's plenty of time. And so if that's the case, you know, that would be an interesting turn of events in this situation, you know. And I think a lot of people would actually look forward to seeing the fight, especially after all of this. I mean, you know, we could, if you want to put a positive spin on this whole situation, you know, we couldn't just view this whole thing with Deontay Wilder as his build up, you know, as a promotional build up for the fight, because, you know, calling Tyson Fury a coward and a cheat, I mean, all that could be can work as a you know, to the positive in terms of building up this next fight. Because that one of my thing about this whole situation of Deontay Wilder being silent all the time was the fact that if you having a fight coming up in December, why will you not be out there promoting the fight? I mean, come out and saying something about the fight and talking about the fight and talking up the fight. Why is it only Fury we see out there doing that? But now Wilder's come out and he's speaking, and so, you know, all of this couldn't be looked on as like a build-up toward this fight. You know, I mean, it definitely would make the fight more interesting after all these accusations, you know. And, you know, Wilder, I mean, because at the end of the day, what Wilder is saying is that, you know, Fury didn't beat him. He cheated. Okay, that's what he's saying, that Fury cheated, and that if Fury didn't cheat, there's no way he could have won. Okay, so that's a lot to say. And so if that's the case, then that's a great build-up if they decide to fight the third fight. I mean, you know, a lot of people, you know, I mean, this thing, even though Wilder has been universally condemned, more or less, in terms of the, you know, the public and the boxing community, I mean, but it doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, it's just more publicity for the fight if it was supposed to happen. So whether the people condemning him or love him, it doesn't really matter. You know, it's publicity. And so there's more people talking about the fight now, okay? And so there's a big whole hullabaloo, you know, hullabaloo about this whole situation. So it's just more publicity for the fight. So I believe that if the fight was to happen next, it would be a bigger fight than anything that, you know, Fury could come up with in, you know, with this Caballero guy. You know, nobody really know who he is, and nobody really probably doesn't really care. Okay, and I would believe that a lot of people, including myself, would much rather see Deontay Wilder and Fury for the third fight. Okay, I mean that's just the way it is. Okay, I mean even though I don't agree with a lot of things that Wilder is doing and saying, I still want to see this fight. Okay, because it'll be a much more interesting fight because if Wilder was to go in there and actually win, then what that would be something to talk about. And if he goes in there again and gets stopped again, I mean that would be the end of his career. Basically, I would think, but not necessarily because that would be only 2 losses on his record. So there's a lot of things that could happen, and that would be interesting in terms of what the turn of events turns out to be. So again, besides the little video that I saw of Tyson Fury, he didn't really say much about this fight. But like I said, in the video, he didn't really put the fight. He didn't really say that, Deontay, I'm not gonna fight you. Go to hell. You calling me a cheater. I'm having no interest in fighting you. He didn't say that. He basically said that, that Deontay is a doctor and that he can get it, and he's gonna get it. Something to that effect. Okay, so it looks like this fight might be on, if not next for Fury, at some point in the near future, it would seem. Okay, so yeah, this is definitely an interesting turn of events as far as I can see, and I'm definitely hyped to see what is going to happen next, and where this is going to end up. So again, Joshua coming out and accusing Deontay Wilder of dragging his name through the mud. I mean, this whole situation, if has kind of cleared up the whole Anthony Joshua ducking Deontay Wilder scenario that was out there in the LDBC. These guys was going around saying that Eddie Hearn was a fake. He was just that Anthony Joshua is ducking Wilder. He doesn't want any part of Wilder. He's afraid of Wilder. All of this talk was going on. Because Wilder was saying that it was a fake contract that they was offering him. They're basically talking the same kind of stuff that we heard from Gary Russell and the whole scenario. With the Devin Haney situation, and the whole scenario was eerily familiar. When we it's almost like a playbook. Okay, that the same playbook that was used in the Deontay Wilder Anthony Joshua was the same playbook that was used by the LDBC in the Gary Russell Devin Haney situation. Where Gary Russell was accusing Devin Haney and his team of making fake offers, this, that, and the other. In basically what I could see was like a blatant attempt to duck the fight with Devin Haney, and so we saw that this has been confirmed in the case of Joshua and Deontay Wilder, that Deontay Wilder actually ducked AJ. He actually ducked Anthony Joshua because he said it himself. He admitted it on Twitter that he didn't take the fight that was more money because he gave his word to fight Fury a second time. So that was unfortunate. For Deontay Wilder that he said that because it basically confirmed what Eddie Hearn has been saying, what Joshua has been saying, that Deontay Wilder never really wanted to fight with Anthony Joshua, and it makes sense at the end of the day, because I don't really see any reason why Anthony Joshua would actually duck Deontay Wilder when he's been fighting everybody that was put in front of him. In such a short time, Anthony Joshua was able to accumulate all the belts, except for the one that Wilder had. And, he fought people, that Deontay Wilder could have fought, but never did, like Povetkin, Klitschko. All those fights, Wilder could have had those fights during his career, but he never took any of those fights. Okay, he never, he basically fought people like Stavern and, Ortiz and which are two of the best known names on his record actually, and the rest of it, Brazil, and basically he fought just guys. Not some. I don't even know if some of these guys was even ranked. I'm sure Stavern was a champion previously and all that, but Brazil and these other guys that he was fighting. I mean, Brazil had I think he was undefeated at the time, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. But besides those two guys, there was not much on, there was no really big profile fights on Deontay Wilder's record. He never really fought any of the top guys in the division, the ranked guys, like I said, Povetkin, uh, Ruiz, or none of the guys, that's really up there. Parker, I mean, there's a lot of guys that he never really fought. Povetkin, none of these guys. So Klitschko, he didn't fight none of these guys. So I mean, I don't really, see why he would think that Anthony Joshu would be ducking. But like again, I think it was basically a case of clout chasing. He just wanted to get his name out there, being in the mix with the big guys like Fury and Anthony Joshua, who was getting a lot of accolades, so I guess he wanted his name out there, and he succeeded in doing that, because he got the big fight with Tyson Fury twice, and that kind of raised his profile, so it was successful, so there's nothing wrong with that part of it, but I just don't think that Anthony Joshua would ever ducked Deontay Wilder, and the fact that Deontay Wilder made this tweet basically confirm that. So, unintended consequences, So yeah, I guess I don't know when we're gonna hear from Wilder next. If this is just, he's just gonna go back into obscurity or he's gonna continue to speak out. We don't know at this point. But there's a lot of he has definitely stirred the pot. And so now there's a lot of talk going around, and the things are up in the air and this, and so there's a lot of controversy out there right now. So definitely, if they were to fight again, it would be a good atmosphere, for promotion wise, for this fight if it was to happen soon. Okay, because the pot has been stirred, and things are flying around, and so yeah, it's getting very interesting. We have Joshua coming out and speaking, so there's a lot of things going on at this point. It'll be interesting to see, what's going to happen next. Now, I haven't really heard anything from. We haven't heard anything from Shelley Finkel about this. Unless I missed it, he hasn't really come out and said anything. But we have heard him previously talk about the fact that the fight was supposed to still be on. So, I guess he's still taking that position. But again, the rematch has expired, so it's up to Tyson Fury to decide whether or not he wants to take the fight or not. And so, at this point, it looked like the ball is in Tyson Fury's court as to whether or not the fight actually happens. Okay, so I'm definitely looking forward to see what's coming next. I hope that Tyson Fury decides to take this fight, because I definitely want to see it. And so would a lot of other people. And I've heard that Stephen Smith will come out and said that Tyson Fury should take the fight, that he should honor the agreement they had for the third fight. Okay, whether the rematch clause expires or not. Okay, it's up to Tyson Fury. I guess he can do whatever he wants, but I hope he does take the fight. I hope the fight does happen, because I want to see it. Okay, I want to see if Wilder has made any adjustments, if he's gonna go in there and redeem himself. Okay, and hopefully the fight does happen. Okay, and I would definitely look forward to see this fight. Again, as far as I'm concerned, and I've made that clear in a lot of my videos, Wilder didn't really want this fight, because if he did, he would have came out before the expiration of the contract, the rematch clause, and said that he wanted to fight. But he didn't do that. He waited until after, like, days or hours after the rematch clause expired to come out. Like, he would just wait. That's what he was waiting for this whole time. So it seemed like, to me, Wilder, during this whole time of silence, was basically just waiting for the rematch clause to expire, so he can come out and then say he wants to fight, which would mean that he really doesn't want to fight. So, but you know, maybe I'm wrong, so we'll see. But at this point, I think I'm going to leave it there. That's about all I have for right now. This is TBE Boxing. I'm out.